as you can see, oh, he's a good boy! Ah! Just a second ago, he was obsessed, but River is obsessed with my brand new baby bird, and not in a good way. He wants to eat her. So we are going to try to desensitize him to the little bird. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that we should desensitize dogs to birds, but we should not desensitize birds to dogs. Meaning, I don't want her to be comfortable with him, because she could get eaten. And you shouldn't ever let dogs and birds be together unattended. But in case she ever escapes her carrier or a kid lets her out or something, it's important that the dog is comfortable around the bird. So that's why we're doing this training. She'll be staying calm because she has a really good treat in there, some seeds, which will make it less distracting. If she was flapping around and freaking out, that would not be good for River. So make sure your bird is calm. You can put the bird higher up so that it remains calm, but if I thought he was going to knock over the carrier, then I would put her on the ground. So you start with a really good treat. So I want to get River's attention first, and I'm just going to toss treats, go get it, around the bird and see how interested he is. If he wouldn't take the treat and he was just obsessed with the bird, then I would know I need to create more distance, and I would start on the other side of the room. Good boy. He's doing good so far. I'm going to put him into a sit. Good boy. The other dog also wants to be in here. And a down. And we're just going to get him used to listening to us while the bird is around. Good. Good boy, Revelation. Good boy, River boy. All right. So he's doing way better than I expected because he's completely obsessed. So I'm going to put this lower down on the ground, kind of at nose level. Yeah, there it is. That's the interest. Oh my goodness. Good. And we're going to see if the bird is calm or not. Again, if the bird was freaking out, I would put it back up. And we're going to do down. And essentially, it's just getting the dog comfortable around the bird. The next thing you can do is you can get the dog up and walking. So I'm going to put him in a heel. River, heel. Oh, come on. Good boy. Sit. And we're going to walk past the bird. River. Good boy. His eyes flicked over to the bird. He's very interested, so I'm luring him right by the nose with the treat. Because I just want him to coexist with the bird. I'm not encouraging him to sniff it. I'm not encouraging him to have the bird on his head or anything like that. Once your dog is very comfortable being around the bird while it's in a carrier, meaning they're not constantly sniffing or staring at the carrier or anything like that, they can just walk past it just fine. Then, and only then, can you bring the bird out of its cage. So, I'm going to grab a twig, and we're going to call River over. Or actually, no, we're not. If he's willing to settle and stay over there on his own, the reason I was going to call him over is because I wanted control over the session. I want him already thinking. But if your dog is like literally laying down, then just reward for that. So you can see that River is very interested in the bird, and Betsy's very interested in the kibble. Betsy doesn't care about the bird at all, so we're going to ignore her. Well, we can reward her. But with River, he's looking not at all at the food. He's looking at the bird, if you can see where my hand is versus where the bird is. So I'm going to reward him for calm, and I'm going to give him a job to do. Now, I'm not going to put him into a heel because that would bring him closer to the bird, and what I'm trying to teach him is be away from the bird or be listening to me, one of the two. So for this, I am going to get him into a place. So we have got a placemat set up over here, and I'm going to... Betsy, come here. River, place. Oh, sorry. River, go to bed. You can join Betsy. Go on up. He's like, there's already a dog, so I'm gonna lure him. We could do 2 dogs on the same bed. It's a big bed. Ideally, you would want just one, but Betsy's so comfortable around birds that I almost want him to learn from her that we're gonna focus on food, make it more of a competition, you know? If your dog's resource card or whatever, then just remove the dog from the room, and definitely don't train 2 dogs that want the bird at the same time, because then it becomes a competition over the bird, not over the food. So from here, I'm just going to have him on his placemat, and one option you can... No. Stay on that placemat. One option you can do is, as long as the bird is out, you have to be on your place or in your crate or whatever. Obviously, crate is the fastest, but there's crate guilt, where you're like, well, then it's shut away from me. So if you want your dog in the same room, or your dog isn't crate trained, then you can do a mat, and you can, very good. So I'm gonna double reward because she flapped. And so that can be very, very stimulating for the dog. I would have rewarded him as, but I wanted to catch her because she's clipped. Unfortunately, don't clip your birds. So from here, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna go to their bed. I'm gonna walk away. No, sir. And now I know the distance I can go while he's overstimulated like this. So I'm just gonna take a few steps back while facing them, not facing away. And then I'll come back and I'll reward. And one thing he's learning is as the bird gets closer and you stay focused on me, then you can get a reward. If he was staring like straight at her and not focused on me at all, I wouldn't reward him because you're going to get what you reward. So you want to make sure it's when he's focused on you. If your dog is not focused on you, it doesn't care about the treats at all, you need more distance. So you can have your dog on a tether, maybe attached to the couch, and you can be across the room and just toss treats to them at the distance that the bird isn't too overstimulating. You can also up the treat value, so it's not just distance. He's eating kibble right now. Your dog might not accept kibble. They might need pieces of like turkey or something that they really like that's dog safe. Because they're gonna get a lot of it, so you don't wanna like get out.
But not a toy.
Not a toy. Not a toy. That's gonna get them into prey mode, play mode. They're gonna wanna bite things. They're gonna get hyped up. Not a toy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but she's a baby bird and she's using baby bird body language. So I'm worried she's gonna take off. Yeah, she's wanting to fly. So I'm gonna put her away until she's calmer. If just because you started the session doesn't mean that you have to go for like 5 minutes or an hour or whatever. All right, so we're gonna lure her. That's what pellets. Oh, good girl. Good. Sorry, I have to reward her for going in.
Yep. Look at these dogs though.
And if they stay in bed while you put it away, they get treats. Good job, guys. If you notice your bird is getting restless or about to fly around, put them away. Movement is going to make your dog want them even more. You need your bird in a calm state of mind. She was just hanging out and resting, whereas most of the time she's like flying around the cage, so that's why I brought her out. But she's a little bit hungry and was going into baby mode, so I wasn't gonna mess with the wing flap thing that they do at that age, because that's what's gonna get River's attention. And you'll learn what gets your own dog's attention. It might be the wing flap, it might be when the bird is chirping, it might be when the bird is flying or when the bird is too low on the ground. You might notice that I kept the bird up high. River doesn't jump, so my shoulder was fine. If River did jump, I might put her on a Java or foraging tree, if you have one, or up on a shelf.
Or on top of the cage.
Or on top of the cage. There are a lot of options. I love her. So stage 3, Twig and I are just hanging out while I do my devotions. River's over there. Oh, you found your seed?
Well, he's not in the view anymore.
But that's the point, is that he's left the scene. He doesn't care that much. Every day I bring, there he is. Every day I bring Twig out and we just kind of hang while I do my devotions. And she just stays near me. She's not flying around, she's hanging out. If River was over here, then I would work on a station with her. So bird people, this is a trick for you. So I'm gonna lure her. Put her on a station. Come on. And just feed them for staying still. And eventually the dog will just get used to, basically we're coexisting at this point. Before it's you're learning self-control, you're learning how to handle your emotions. I mean the dog, not your. But at this stage, you're just kind of being. Now, I'm not encouraging either of them to interact. There will never be a stage where I'm like, oh yeah, now they can hang out and be buddies. Because it only, even if your dog is perfectly behaved around birds, they have no problem, it only takes one accident, like maybe the dog is trying to play with the bird, or maybe the dog literally just steps on the bird, doesn't even think about it, then you've got a problem. Or maybe you have a friend over who's got a dog, and this goes for rabbits, whatever, I'm just using birds because that's what we're using in this video. And the dog comes over and the bird likes dogs, but that dog isn't friendly. So you want to make sure that the bird and the dog are always at a distance. It's also going to be good if you can recall train the bird and whatnot, but for dog training, it's literally just being nearby and not making a big deal out of it. It might take a little bit to get to this stage though. Oh, good spin. It might take a little bit to get to this stage because it takes a long time to build impulse control. With River in particular, he's a service dog in training, so we've worked on it a lot already. So it's, good girl. So it's not like this huge learning curve that we have to spend weeks on. I trust him a little bit. Can you spin? I trust him a little bit more than I would with other dogs in a shorter period of time. So you kind of need to go at your own dog's pace. But yeah, once your dog just isn't like dead staring at them anymore, then you can begin to just get the bird out and let it move around. But again, she's on a higher platform and he doesn't jump on tables, so that's another safety thing you want to keep in mind, is that she needs to be kind of away from him. And yeah, that's stage 3. Your bird, oh! Yeah, you just have to jump the gun, huh? Your bird is obviously going to fly at times, even if they're clipped, which she unfortunately is. So you want your dog to be desensitized to that. So for that, you need to flight train your bird, this is not a demo on how to do that. Can you step down? But essentially, you just want to do little hops to your hand, give a reward, and then send them back. Go. Tilly, go. She's like, you don't have any snacks. Fine, I will set you down. And then you just can go further and further away. Tilly. Until the dogs, you can see, are getting used to just chilling. I'm not giving the dogs any rewards because I don't want them to be focused on me, you know? I just want them to be around the bird as it's flying. Come here.
That was a big reaction.
That was a big reaction.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for her reactivity course.
Yeah, that was a good yawn, girl.
You just do further and further flights as the dogs get accustomed to it, and let them just chill. Eventually it won't be a big deal and they'll just be able to have the bird fly around while they're there. Always monitor. You can have them tethered so that they physically can't get at the bird, because ultimately this is prey and they're predators. So you want to keep in mind that they are literally designed to catch and kill these birds. And even if your dog doesn't, a visiting dog might, that your bird is gonna think is a friend. So just keep that in mind. You always want, this is a conure, by the way, this is always moving. Just keep it in mind, keep your bird safe. Well, have fun training with 2 animals.